Yo, what's up, guys? Out for a little ride on the 690 today. No off-road ride for me, but in the case of you guys, you probably really don't care because you don't like my off-road rides anyway. Yeah, my off-road rides, they don't get too many views. It's kind of disappointing because those are the most fun, obviously, for me, but I don't know. Apparently you guys don't like watching them. So I'm doing a KTM 690 motovlog. And probably going to run into some rain here. It's just kind of the way it goes. I don't like to wheelie around corners because you got a cop, you're screwed. Yeah, so anywho, really love this 690. People that don't own one don't get it. These things are bad to the bone, man. Every time I haven't ridden it for a few days, maybe even a week. I know that sounds weird. I don't own a car, but I have a scooter and sometimes ride bicycles and stuff, and I ride those to work. So I don't always ride the motorcycle everywhere. And sometimes the old 690, she'll sit there for a whole week. And, maybe I'll run an errand or something on my 350 EXC. And then I usually do some maintenance on my 350 and I ride on Sundays. But this weekend, all my buddies had stuff going, so not a single person was going to ride except for me that I knew. I got one that's injured. I've got one that's got some personal stuff going on. Oh, look at that, car in the ditch. Another stolen car in the ditch. So anyway, yeah, I just didn't get to ride, but that's probably okay because I injured my knee a little bit last weekend, and it's just now feeling good. It's only got a little bit of tweakage on it. So I'm just out getting some. I slept in today, and I'm out getting some oxygen on the 690. But yeah, every time I ride this thing after a period of off, I just love it that much more. This thing's got a lot of power. It's not like light switchy two-stroke power, but it's got a lot of power. It just pulls. Anyway, yeah, this bike handles awesome. You guys can't hear the engine with the microphone on right now, but it's fun. She's got this nice little roar. Yeah, I really enjoy riding this thing. I've been wanting to take it out for an off-road ride, but I just had a lot of crap going on in my life and just haven't really made the time to do it. That'd be nice to come around the corner and hit that pile of gravel. Anyway, the 690, she doesn't ever really need much. Maintenance intervals on this thing are pretty spread out. I change the oil, 6 times as often as it should be. I change it every 1,000 miles, whether, it says it needs it or not. And shit, unless you ride in really dusty conditions, you basically never need to clean the air filter. I mean, when I go for big off-road rides and stuff, I have that bulk foam on top of mine. even with the lid off. And I just take the top piece of bulk foam off. I don't have to clean the main one. So I have no idea when the last time I cleaned the air filter in this thing, because it literally doesn't even have a speck of dust on it. So I don't have that stock paper one. I replaced it with the twin air filter, which is the foam. It's got a little foam seal and fits in there real nice. I'm sure the paper filters are just fine, but I didn't want to get water in it. And I was riding off-road, so I wanted to make sure it was clean. But yeah, so some people ask me if, they say they don't have enough power. The 690, doesn't have enough power to pull the wheel. Well, it does. And as far as I know, I believe what I'm telling you is true right now. It has a governor on the second and third gear that governs at 30%. It's kind of an anti-wheelie function, probably anti, spin out function too. But it has a governor, so when you hammer on the gas, it doesn't, rump on it like in first gear. You see how jumpy that was. And obviously I have, I'm changing gears here, so this, I don't know, it feels more dead. So in order to do wheelies on this thing, you have to do what's called a clutch up. I'm not going to do a video tutorial on how to ride wheelies, but don't do clutch ups unless you know how to regulate the rear brake for a wheelie. And that means covering your rear brake with your foot. Because if you do a clutch up, this thing's got a shitload of power, and it can loop out on you. And let me tell you right now, you guys have probably seen enough crash videos that you don't really want to loop out. It's not real fun. Crap. I was going to go down that private road right there and show you guys some wheelies. Maybe I still can here. I'll turn around. I'll go up this thing. Oh, this doesn't have a gate on it. I thought this had a gate on it. So anyway, if I just hit the throttle, the front wheel comes up a little bit, but it doesn't. But if I have some steady throttle and I give it just a little bit of clutch, it comes up no problem. The thing is that it jumps up. So unless you know how to control the rear brake, you don't want that thing to jump up on you. That will hurt you big time. So wheelies on the road, man, are no joke. And I've done a billion wheelies off-road. I don't actually ride wheelies, which is funny. I actually never learned how to ride wheelies when I was riding off-road, which, I don't know, looking back seems a little bit silly to me. But the thing is, I never did. But I could ride a wheelie through anything. It's like, okay, I need to wheelie through that entire section. And you could even say, you could even call that manualing. Like, I could manual through stuff. I could ride wheelies on bicycles for miles and miles. And the only time the front wheel would drop down is when I got tired. Like, physically too tired to keep it up. That's what she said, right? No, anyway. So when I got back to the street and I was riding wheelies, I was just doing power wheelies, like a lot of you would only know how to do. And so I taught myself kind of the clutch up for riding wheelies on the road, because that's number one. They're bigger and cooler, but they're also more balanced and they're more controlled. And you don't have to just romp the hell out of the 690's power to do a clutch up wheelie. So I'll turn around right here. I don't know if the camera will get it for you, but nice view of town. But I'll turn around right here and I'll do a first gear. So there's a power wheelie, no clutch. Alright, well, that requires a lot of throttle. That's not really how like somebody like Graham Jarvis or something would do a wheelie if he was, you know, gonna wheelie over a log or something. Those guys use clutch control to get their front wheels up. You know, let's pretend this manhole cover thing here is a log that I got over, and I'm Graham Jarvis or something. I would, you know, pop the clutch over that thing. So that's the same basic thing you do on the street. Just pop the clutch like that. So, you know, you just come in there and it's a one finger action. You got your foot covering the rear brake. Yeah. Just pop it up. So then we go into second. I mean, you can hear how that thing's bogging. It doesn't want a power wheelie right now. I mean, I could jerk on the handlebars and it doesn't really want to come up, but you pull in the clutch and, you know, it's a whole different story. I just ride this thing and then I'm just using my legs for balance because this back tire is really, really squirrely. The sidewall's really soft in it, so it sucks. Oh, took my pan on the foot peg. That wasn't good. So anyway, that's not a wheelie tutorial. I'm sure there's lots of wheelie tutorials. You know, I'm sure there's a bunch of street bike stuff that you could do. YouTube, I guess, or whatever, for clutch up wheelies. But yeah, so anyway, I just out here for a little ride on the 690. Been doing a lot of riding. I'm really, really enjoying the riding, you guys. It's, you know, it was void from my life for so long that I really think that, and this is my personality too, that I'm just going a little bit overboard in it. I really should focus on running, and if I get a trials bike, it's gonna put me back into 100% motorcycle world. And you know, honestly, I'm never gonna go anywhere with motorcycling. You know, as far as racing, we're never gonna get anywhere. I could probably maybe do decent in enduro, but I'm too old to do anything outside of recreational racing. Where if I get into running, I could actually become probably a fairly legit ultra runner or mountain runner, and or both. Like, I already have some pretty significant times for that kind of stuff, so you know, I probably really should get into running if I'm going to go anywhere with the sport. So I don't know, I just, plus this you know, Hawaii's not real conducive to motorcycle riding. I mean, I can ride around like this and stuff, but there's not a lot of off-road. All the land is private and stuff, and really not you know, a place to so you saw that the clutch barely even got that one up. That was just so bogged out when it took off. While I was sick, you know, I watched a lot of videos and stuff, and I'm fairly into politics. I know I asked you guys if you wanted me to do kind of some political commentary on this channel, and you basically said no. You just want to watch 690 MotoVlogs. But I still watch a lot of that stuff, and yeah, I'm not really. I don't get caught up in all the hype of the BS and all the emotion and stuff. As you guys know from my 4th of July video, I have very conservative views, and that doesn't attach me to any particular political party, but it leans me a little bit one way, and I don't know. That doesn't happen to be the popular side at the moment, but anyway, there's other people that I watch that have conservative views. I'll go back down here so you guys can see a couple of wheelies again before I log you off. One of the people that I really enjoy watching and listening to is a guy named Jordan Peterson. and he's a pretty controversial figure right now, but he's a clinical psychologist from Canada, and he's doing and he tours and does lectures, and he also has a book out on Amazon, and I'll link to that below if you guys want to look into it. It's a bestseller on Amazon. I don't know, it's the #1 bestseller on Amazon, and it's sold millions of copies now. I think he's moving on 3 million copies or some sort of thing. So it's a wildly popular book, but he has tons of podcasts and tons of lectures and stuff on his website. And as far as I'm concerned, he's a real objective thinker, and I'm a very objective thinker myself. And that doesn't mean that, you know, we're not wrong and our positions aren't wrong and stuff, but what I really like about Jordan Peterson is, you know, if you see somebody say something to him, like in a podcast or whatever, and it's something that he hasn't thought about, like he will sit there and with a long awkward pause, and he will really think about it, and you know that he's like, oh shit, you know, I might be wrong on this. And so I really, really appreciate him for that. And pretty cool wheelie, huh? Anyway, I really appreciate him for that, and I think he's a very, very critical thinker, and I really enjoy watching his stuff. And there's tons of it online, tons and tons. Like, he's probably got maybe like 300 videos on his YouTube channel, and ooh, that was a first gear one. I thought it was second. It caught me by surprise a little bit. But he's got I mean, all these videos and lectures, they're like, all of them are like an hour to an hour and a half. So go check out Jordan Peterson. I mean, if you're a really staunch Democrat, you're probably not going to like him, because he doesn't really think within your box. I mean, you're entitled to your opinions. I don't really care. But I would still encourage you to watch him, because he might challenge the thinking or the thought processes that you're going through. And he's not a Republican. It's funny that people label Jordan Peterson as like an alt-right freaking weirdo, but he's really not. He's just looking at the evidence, and he really, really researches and thinks through his positions. And I don't know, even if I didn't agree with him, he's such a thinker. I think he's really kind of a great mind of our time right now. And you look at some of the testimonials and stuff just on his YouTube videos of people that watched him, and I mean, some of them are really like heartfelt and want to bring you to tears. It's like fuck yeah, man. It's like, in our society where, and I'll leave the politics out of this, our society where there's like no personal responsibility anymore, and tremendous amounts of entitlement. Like, I get this in comments on some of my videos. It's just like, you know, fuck you, man, stupid video. It's like, you don't have to watch my video. And the fact that you did watch it and then had enough energy to comment on how stupid it was or whatever, or how fucking dumb and stupid, and you're just like, you guys go look at some of the latest comments on my KLR650 review. Like, before you look at the comments, watch the video and then look at the comments. And it's just like, these people are just freaking out on me because I said bad things about the KLR. I didn't say bad things about the KLR. I actually really enjoyed riding my KLR650. I was probably going to kill myself on that thing. And if I didn't kill myself, I was going to kill the bike. No joke, I was going to break that thing in half. And I actually commented on this dude's comment on there and said, you know, it just wasn't the right bike for me. I'm going to break it in half. And some jackass comments back on the, you need to learn how to ride. I'm sure that he's a great rider. Dude, I'm a fucking A-class rider. That's not tooting my horn. That's fact. And it's like, dude, yeah, I need to learn how to ride a KLR650. I mean, give me a break. It's like a lawn tractor, you know, and that's what it's designed for. And if you watch my video, I say that, and I'm fairly careful with my words in that video. It's just like, hey, this is a really great motorcycle. If you just like to just putt around and look at nature and stuff. I mean, like what I'm doing right now, just we're doing 30 miles an hour. Speedometer's off a mile an hour. We're doing 30 miles an hour, and I'm just in Hawaii, you know, I'm looking at, I got an avocado tree, a mango tree, you know, and some horses and some road construction. I'm just putting around on a Sunday. The KLR650 is an absolute perfect bike for that. But I wanted to do some off-road riding. And at the time, I didn't know that the off-road riding was essentially going to be me getting back into motocross. I just wanted to go up kind of some gnarly hardcore terrain so that I could get to locations where I could do my mountain running. And the KLR can do those at like 1 mile an hour, but that's not fair. They can do it at 6 miles an hour. But it just wasn't a machine that was getting there for me, which I felt in a safe manner, in at least the way that I was trying to ride it in a safe manner. And like if I had kept that bike and sunk a couple $1,000 into it and made it more capable, like I probably would have broke it in half. Like you guys see, if you go back, I'll link to it at the end of my thing, the best of KTM 690 videos. It's my playlist where I put like kind of all the short videos that I made for the KTM 690. So I would encourage you to watch that if you're watching this motovlog this long. And it's got me hitting frickin' freestyle ramps, small ones, but it's got me hitting ramps on the KTM 690. Dude, that jump is like 65 feet in distance, and I don't know, 6 or 7 feet off the ground, and I'm jumping that on the KTM 690, right? So that's with me with all the compression clickers in the bike just completely cranked. And the 690 handled it. I blew the taillight out probably 3 different occasions, maybe 4 different occasions, where it just completely ripped the back end off, but like not the whole suck bender, but the taillight and everything just broke the plastic from the landings. But you couldn't do that on a KLR 650 for very many times before the head tube on that thing would stress out. I mean, like the forks on the KLR 650 are 1 millimeter bigger than the forks on a KX80. I think the KX80, like I obviously don't have the statistics and the information in front of me right now while I'm riding, but I believe the KX80 uses like a 37 millimeter fork, and the KLR 650 uses a 38 millimeter fork. My KLR 650 with the bags on it weighed 500 damn pounds. You know, I don't know what a KX80 weighs, but if I had to guess, because it's been so long since I looked at this information, it might be like 165 pounds. So, I mean, and they use the same diameter forks. The problem is that the KLR 650 has a longer fork. So the front end of that damn thing is just like, they're just a couple of spaghetti noodles attached to a tire, and the whole front end flexes, and that's why there's several aftermarket companies that make fork braces for them, because the front end is so twisty. Like if you get going fast on the thing, you can start to feel it waller because the forks twist so bad. And you can be a KLR 650 fanboy and be like, oh, you just don't know how to ride it. I mean, whatever, dude. Like, I know how to ride the thing fast enough that I can make the front end start to waller. And I would say that a beginner rider could even do that. But it's actually to the point, and this is where in my video I say they could have put a KX250 front end on it or something. You know, at least like a 43 millimeter fork. Because that bike is way damn too heavy for a 38 millimeter fork or whatever the hell is on it. And it's too long because it has to, you know, it's a big bike, so it has this increased length. I'm going to pull off and let this dude behind me by so I don't have to worry about him. And anyway, you know, just like at least like a 43 millimeter fork or something. I mean, it's not like they're worried about the weight. But when I would come into my driveway, which has a little curb about this high, hopefully you can see that in the camera. Anyway, I'll just narrate it. It's about a 3-inch curb. You know, it's no different than, let's say, if I hit I'm gonna hit some tree roots in the road right here. So you come around a corner and you're steering like this, and you hit that tree root right there. This KTM 690's got 48 millimeter forks on it. Nothing twisted when I went over that. Maybe some tire sidewall. You know, I go around corners like this, and I don't have to worry about hitting the damn root, right? Like this stuff right here. When you hit that on the KLR650, the front end actually twists. Like this stuff right here. If I came around the corner and I hit those roots right there, the front end of the KLR650 actually twists. And so when I'm coming into my driveway and I'm turning into my driveway alone, the chassis wallers. It kicks coming in there. Now, does that mean I'm going to crash? And I would say no, especially because I'm aware of it. But, you know, if you're riding off-road on the thing and you're going down the rocky stuff that I did, and you can go way back into my YouTube and watch a couple of KLR650s where I was going down some gnarly stuff. When the front end hits a rock like that, it deflects, right? So it deflects, and it's sending you whatever direction the 500-pound machine wants to go. You don't have say in it. That's just the way it is. It's I wouldn't call it riding a KLR 650 riding. I would call it herding. You are guiding the stuff that's in the front of you in a certain direction roughly. Like if you were herding sheep, or if you're driving a houseboat. I don't know if any of you have ever driven a huge boat. Like you don't just steer a houseboat. You turn, and then like 2 minutes later, it starts reacting to whatever you did. So that's how you kind of ride a KLR 650 when you're riding off-road. And, you know, it's like I said, it's fine. Like right now, I'd be just cruising. It's got a huge comfy seat. You're just sitting in the thing like a damn lazy boy. A nice windshield blocking the wind. Blah, blah, blah. It's a nicer bike to ride in this kind of situation than this KTM 690. And I'm 100% willing to admit that. But you know what? You don't have acceleration like that on a KLR 650. I mean, this thing doubles the horsepower almost of a KLR 650. And, you know, this suspension on this thing, even if it's not set up correctly, is not going to wheelie over those bumps on a KLR 650. So, even if this, the valving and stuff on this suspension is fairly mediocre, you know, the suspension is 100 times more durable, and it's got way more power to bail you out of situations. And it's just you can't compare green apples I should say, KLR 650s, and oranges being the KTM 690. So no disrespect to the KLR 650, very reliable tractor machine. And people want one of those, then great. I mean, it's an amazing machine for a 60-year-old man that just wants to just putt around and enjoy life. Like great. And there's other people that aren't 60-year-old men that like that too, that just aren't adrenaline junkies like myself or whatever. Perfect bike for them. But this machine is a lot more capable off-road machine. And so in that review, I was just said, hey, it's a great bike. It's a great price point. It's just not the bike for me. So I sold it. Whatever. I've ridden one since. You guys probably seen that video too if you've been following me for a while. But that lady hates motorcycles. I don't know that. I was just kidding because she just kind of didn't smile or anything. But anyway, that's all I've got for you guys today. This video is probably horrendously long, but so check out my KTM 690 playlist here at the end, the best of KTM 690 playlist. And then also check out my StegPeg giveaway video. So when we get to 1,200 subscribers, and I don't know, we're somewhere right around 700 now, I'm going to give away a pair of Steg pegs for the KTM 690. You can do whatever you want with them. You can put them on your bike. You can sell them. I don't care. It's a $165 value. So it is worth going to my channel page and hitting that notification bell subscription button. And make sure that you comment on that video. And I'll see you guys in the next video, the next ride. I don't know, maybe I'll just put up a couple of KTM 690 vlogs once I come up with some sort of something that I want to rant about. Anyway, hang loose, you guys. Take care, and hope you had a safe weekend.